This question is from Lori. How do you navigate the transition into your roles as showrunners for Station 19 in its seventh season, especially with the added pressure of a well-established show, and then so many challenges as the double strike and the cancellation?
So, one thing that that Krista and Zoanne and I strategized even with the help of sort of an executive coach, was making sure that transition was as seamless as possible. And Krista really started handing off a lot of stuff to us in as far back as season 5 and definitely in season 6. So by the end of season 6, we were already kind of in those lanes, right? And everyone was, by the time we started 7, everyone was kind of used to us as the figureheads and as the the point people for our various jobs. The coming out of the strikes was what it was. We had these plans for a full 18 episode season. Had to pivot then because it was like, well, we've only got 10 episodes. So this story, that story, this story, we're going to kick those off to season 8 because we were sure we were getting a season 8.
Right.
They had spent a ton of money moving us from one stage to another. It seemed the only way they're going to recoup that is if they do it more than one season. Like it just seemed, and we were doing so well on the ratings, it just didn't occur to anybody. That phone call, the cancellation call, came completely out of the blue, blindsided all of us. I truly don't think there was a single person on the cast or crew who was expecting it. And that's really unusual in Hollywood. Usually somebody, smells it in the air.
Heard something, yeah.
Yeah, well, not even heard something, but just has assessed something. Because usually cancellations make sense.
Yeah.
And on some level. Right? Whether it's like the creative team is tired of making the show, or the ratings have gone down, or they've got a bunch of stuff coming in that they want room for. Like it just usually you're aware of something before you get knocked against the sand. So we had pivoted once to figure out what we were going to do for that 10 episode season, and then day 3 of shooting, we realized, oh God, we're going to have to really pivot again to make sure that we land this plane appropriately and, make sure we do all the things that that matter to us and to the cast, and to the fans as much as we can service them. You can't write a show. Don't take this the wrong way. I know you're all super fans, but you can't write a show for the fans. You can't. No. You would end up with 40 minutes of Maya and Karina staring at each other and making dirty love, and then it just you can't do that. So making sure that that we knew there wwere some things that were important to fans that we wanted to service if we could. We are fans of the show, and those are the fans that we write for, us and the writers. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So that's what we did. We pivoted and we pivoted again, just like getting this couch up those stairs.
Good.
Yeah, and you did a great job. I think it seemed pretty seamless, and each character got serviced so well and had a story to tell. Like, who would have thought that? And I speak probably for at least 95% of the fandom, I think. But who would have thought by the end of the season I would love Beckett? Like
that one.
I mean, I'm like, well done.
Thank you. One of the gifts of it being the last season, and there are a few, like there's a lot of things I'm bummed about and upset about and a lot that I mourn, but one of the gifts of it being the last season was that when you're writing television, people can't change a lot because you got to come back next week and you need story and you need character traits. Like people can't learn the way you can in a movie, right? You start the movie, I don't like my neighbors. Oh, look, I learned, oh, my neighbors are great and now I'm friends with my neighbors. Well, if you do that in an hour of television, you don't have a show next week.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? If the whole tension is about, I don't like my neighbors, then, you know what I mean? Like you can't think about like, Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? Larry David, like he never learns to shut the hell up. Like he just won't ever learn. that he could just not say the thing, and that would be okay too, right?
Mhm.
So, anyway, um, where was I going with this? No idea. Just gone.
Beckett, loving Beckett.
Oh, Beckett, loving Beckett. Oh, getting to land the plane. You get to actually close some people's journeys. You get to heal them. You get to see them learn the lesson you've been teaching them for season after season after season. And to me, the two biggest examples of that, honestly, were Beckett, Vic, Beckett, and Sullivan, the three biggest examples. You got to see them really transform. You got to see something really different in them. And I fell in love with all three of those characters on a whole other level this season.
Same.
Yeah. I really loved Beckett 2.0. I really loved Sullivan 2.0. You know, getting to see him kind of crack open and become joyful and playful and simpy, and you know what I mean? Like, it just was so delightful. And that's how we knew. And I know there's Showrunner fans who are still mad at us, but that story, he never found that joy with Andy. He never found that joy with Andy. They were two people who needed each other at that moment in time, but who were not made for each other. They didn't bring out the best, the most human, the most vulnerable parts of each other. And when we discovered that in that dance with Ross, that they had shared such history and they really understood each other's pain, and you know, that they were so safe with one another to reveal their full selves, you know, I loved that. And seeing Vic finally kind of crack under the pressure of being, you know, the one who takes care of everybody, the one who lightens the situation, the one who's always going to try to make it okay. That was really important to Barrett, and really important to me that we serviced that. And she did.
I loved that we finally saw Barrett like hit it, and then like to see her when she decides to go off and do Crisis 1. I was like, we saw the passion she started getting for it earlier, and I'm like, I was so happy for her. I was like, you're doing exactly what you should do. Like, it was so beautiful to see.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the finale. I have a lot of favorite parts of the finale, but the Vic Travis, you know, Platon calm of it all is probably my favorite storyline, because you really, every step of the way, you feel it. You feel the longing, you feel the heartbreak, that you really believe he's not going with her. And then I just think that reveal of him at the airport is as delightful as it gets.
And it was so them with how funny he was. He's like, you know, you can't, like, they're gonna make you check that bag. They were the best.
Did you guys know that was him? Did you know that was him when the camera drifted over there?
Figured it was.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't at first, and I was like, that was random. Like, because I'm somewhere in the airport, like, why are you talking to me? I don't know you.
Oh, really?
Like, usually, like, my headphones in, and I'm like, what?
The whole, to me, the moment when I think you might get a little suspicious is like, why are we, okay, so we watch her walk over and sit down, and now she's just getting out her phone. Like, why are we sitting here this long? Like, that's odd for a show that moves as fast as Station does.
Yeah.
But just waiting and just seeing the back of that neck and that hairline. Like, I was like, I wonder if people are going to go, oh my God, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, so beautiful. And
I love their platonic soulmate love. It's just so beautiful.
The greatest friendship of all time, honestly.
Yeah, it's not talked about enough how important platonic love is, and how much it saves so many of us.
Yeah. We had somebody, and I can't recall their name, but we had a whole bunch of fan questions here that we've got. But somebody wanted to thank you, and we also want to thank you as Marina fans, for the beautiful baby announcement scene outside of Grace Sloan. They said, we have heard that you suggested lengthening that scene and really letting us encompass that emotion. And it's been 3 years since that, you know, we've been waiting for that announcement. So beautifully done. So thank you for that. And just one of those moments that we'll never forget.
I'm so
As-
glad. I'm so glad. It was very important to me
so
that really land and that we, yeah. And all I that whole scene was there. David was just cutting at station 19 pace, and he was like, "Okay, great." And I was like, "No, milk it. The fans have earned this. They deserve another 360. They deserve another moment. Let them really enjoy this moment because it's worth it." And it was so beautiful and so human, and they're so lovely in it. And I loved the callback to the engagement scene, which, as you know, is my first episode of Station 19. So for me to bookend that story and my experience on the show that way was really great.
Yeah. Which forever loved the way you did that kiss. Like when you did that in the proposal, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I was like just in awe of it. I was like, I want to know how he did it. Like now I need to know. Like I need to know all the details behind like how he shot this because it's so cool.
Thank you. It's funny. So when Krista asked me to direct that episode, I was like, oh, I don't do action. I don't do fire shows, but thank you. I'm going to pass. And she was like, she was such an idiot. She was like, first of all, it's not a really actiony episode. Second of all, the most important couple on the show, the biggest fan favorite couple on the show is getting engaged in this episode. It's a relationship episode. Nobody will do it better than you. So please come do it. And I was like, oh, fine. All right. And then I got there and we had such an amazing time. You know, the way we shot all those fights in the apartment, like that was really, really special to get to do with that. That was very different than anything I think any of us have ever shot before. It's a pretty uncommon shooting style, but it really, really serviced those stories and really, really worked. And yeah, it was a great introduction. And I basically never left.
We're glad you stayed.
You found your home.
Thank you.
And we're glad you stayed. Yeah.
Thank you.
We actually have questions for you about the Fosters because a lot of people know you from both. Let's see.
And a lot of people are discovering the Fosters now.
Also,
I've seen that. It's been like trending. By the way, Station 19 was trending this morning for the record, which I was like, oh, that's crazy.
We've gone through some up and downs recently. We were in a slope, so we're trying to motivate and keep the momentum going.
I know. I want to say something. Look, the odds at this point that it works are really, 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 really slim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other year, I think what you guys did would have worked. We are in this time of mass contraction in the business, complete realignment of financial resources. And it just couldn't have been a worse time for you guys to be fighting this fight.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That was stacked against you. We wouldn't have been canceled in other years. You know what I mean? Like it was all so crazy. But I want to say this, even if it doesn't work, that campaign completely changed how the cast, the crew, the writers experienced the end of the show. It was such a gift to us to know how valued the show was, how important the work that we had done and were doing was to all of you. It impacted us deeply. We felt it. We felt the love. So even if the goal is not achieved, know that the byproduct of the fight was absolutely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely worth it. I hope you all hear that.
We always say that the campaign was our love letter back to you guys for everything.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt. So love it. And I'm not, it's never zero, but I just wanted to say, even if you don't get the result you want, that all of us would have liked, know that it was important and
oh yeah,
felt.
it still is.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a question from someone that and a lot of, I'm sure you're seeing it online, it's all over Twitter, but the chances of spinoffs, and you kind of mentioned like this is also a little bit out there, like the chances of it happening are very slim. I think we're fairly relentless, so I'm like, this could be going on for 3-5 years, who knows, however long. Right.
Amazing.
Like,
never know.
People
Things change, administrations change, executives change. You never know. Never say never.
Yeah.
But I'll be pleasantly surprised if something were to come, to fruition that way. But that doesn't mean it won't.
Yeah, exactly. And we heard you and Zoanne were plugging spinoff for Crisis One, a Marina spinoff, and was there one other?
What was the other one? Oh, it wasn't us. It was actually that was TV Line who
Okay.
said Crisis One, and then said Ross and Sullivan as like Seattle's power couple could be its own spinoff. Her as the mayor, him as him running his program, and I don't know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all we need is a billionaire, and the fans will put together some money, and we'll do a fan-funded spinoff or something, and we'll bring you guys in.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But
Where's Taylor Swift right now? We need some money.
How did you come up with the idea to create the Fosters? Like, where did that come from?
So my writing partner at the time, Bradley Bredeweg, he and I every year would sort of survey the TV landscape and go, okay, what do we love that isn't on the air right now? And that year, there was only one family drama on TV, and we both loved family dramas growing up. And it was Parenthood. Parenthood was the only show like that on television. And we were like, okay, well, what would be our version of a family drama? And we were like, well, we're both gay men. Maybe it's Two Dads. And then we thought like Two Dads was kind of being handled on Modern Family and on Glee and on The New Normal was on right then. And then we went, wait a second, where the fuck are the two mom shows? Like every WLW couple we know has kids. Almost every single one. So where are they? Where's that represented? And it wasn't anywhere. It was nowhere.
Yeah.
And so it was like it just like it hit us like a lightning bolt. And commensurate with those conversations, I was on the board of the LA LGBT Center, which is the largest LGBTQ organization in the world. And we had just gotten a grant from the Obama administration to develop the first ever protocol for LGBTQ plus kids in foster care. So I was getting all of this information about the foster system and how it worked and how it didn't and what the challenges were and all of those things. And so we realized like, oh, that's a great story engine with all this kind of social justice stuff that was important to us tied in this really organic way. And then we just backed ourselves into, well, how did these women make their family? Well, all right, one of them was married, right? She had a kid from a previous marriage. That makes sense. And then they've already adopted two kids. That makes sense. And then they're bringing in this foster just temporarily, and boom, they fall in love. Oh, turns out she's got a brother. Now they've got two. And suddenly their house is stuffed to the gills. And we've got stories for 103 episodes. So
It was so good. So good. I still binge watch it.
I'm so glad. I love that. I love that. Makes me super happy.
Good.
What else?
Oh, this is another fan question from Melissa. She said, who do you choose, Steph and Lena or Maya and Karina?
Oh, go to hell with that question. No, there's no this or that happening. No. I love both those couples with all my heart and soul. I really, really do. So I'm not choosing. I'm not pitting them against each other. There's room for both.
I would not. There is. I always look at it like Steph and Lena were the blueprint of what we got, the predecessor of coming into Maya and Karina. That's how my mind works. Because
Maya and Karina by the end are sort of starting their Steph and Lena era.
Yes.
That's
like we get like the pre-version of what comes into.
Prequel, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Karina are sort of the prequel of Steph Lena. Yeah, totally. Totally. And I love them both. And maybe in the Marina spinoff, they move to San Diego and they can become friends with Steph and Lena.
Yes.
There you go.
Please.
That would be perfect.
What were some of your biggest creative challenges you faced during this final season? And how did you overcome with the team?
I mean, the compressed timeline, the having to pivot. I mean, I think those are the really obvious ones.
Sure.
the great news is we have such such a gung-ho group of writers that, you know, we would go in and go, okay, we got to blow this, and this up. Let's go. And people would just hunker down and dig in and start pitching and start expanding on ideas. And before you knew it, we had solutions. So I think definitely that there, you know, budgetarily, there were some challenges. It's a big show. And we wanted to do some big that we saved the Space Needle, for Christ's sakes. Do you know what I mean? Like in the middle of the season, like that wasn't even a finale or a premiere. That was in the middle of the season. It was our 100th episode,
Right.
but still. So there was some that as a producer, that episode scared the bejesus out of me. And I don't scare easy as a producer because I'm a director, I'm a writer. I really know production well. I know what my team can do. And I, you know, I'm usually spot on and like, yes, we can execute that. No, we can't do that, you know, or I'll go, if we have a story idea, I'll go and talk to the 3 or 4 people, the department heads who I think would most be impacted by a particular story. And I'll go, do you think, what if we did this? And they go, yeah, or no, please don't. Okay, great. But the Space Needle, about 2 days before we started production, I woke up in a dead panic and I was like, we have to rewrite this. We can't do this. This is crazy. This is bananas. But I love it. I mean, I can't believe we pulled it off. I think it's so incredible. And full props to Darren Okada, who directs that kind of action better than anybody. Just really, like, he went up there, he scouted that thing, he knew every nook and cranny of that place and every camera angle he needed. So as we had to piece it all together, he had every single, down to the millimeter, he knew exactly what everything was supposed to be, and we pulled it off.
Incredible.
And it's so funny this season, because it was the end and because the finale was so big and all of those things, I think there's so many amazing things during the season that don't even get talked about, that have been a little bit just forgotten in the, you know, even in the finale itself. There are moments in the finale that I love that I think in a different episode would have been the thing that all the fans were talking about. Like there's some just beautiful things in that finale that are just like, I can't even remember all of them, but like, because there was always, then there's another beautiful moment, and then there's another beautiful moment, and then there's a big action moment, and then there's another beautiful moment that you're just like, oh my God, we did a fire tornado in that episode. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like nobody talks about the fire tornado.
Yeah, and Ross was hanging on for dear life. I mean, there's so much going on.
Kate gets yeeted by a fire
Kate
tornado.
gets-
She gets yeeted by a fire tornado.
Yeah, Kate, boom, slammed, killed, dead,
okay.
barely.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh shit, that's really a bummer."
Yeah.
Why did you run towards it?
No, she was
Okay, bye.
trying to run away from it because it was coming at her so fast. Like the building was here, she's here, and it's coming at her like this, and she ran. You know, she tried to run away from it. She needed to get around it, and she couldn't. So.
But
See, now it's explained because everyone's thinking that she ran towards the tornado.
yeah.
Oh no! She was trying to run. She was kind of trying to run. It was moving
In between, yeah.
Yeah, it was moving this way. She's trying to fit through here before.
And she got sucked into it and thrown up against the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught on fire and then knocked out dead.
Right.
Um,
But that's the thing is when we were watching the finale, we're like, are the executives even watching the same show we are? Because this was amazing.
Oh,
was.
thanks.
And
I
would say it's probably one in my top 5 best television episodes ever.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll take it. That's
Yeah.
a compliment. Thank you so much.
and the how you shot with the fire trucks and like the background, I was in awe. I was like, that is probably one of my favorite shots. Was just them in the truck and you see
Crane
like
shot?
the Ferris wheel and like yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we planned for that way ahead. That was something that was important to me. I said it to Zoanne early on as we were starting to construct it. I was like, I think we need this moment where when they've defeated the fire and they're driving back into the city, we get to like experience this loss, this love that these firefighters had for the city, and those moments, you know. And then once we had done the shots, and we knew what we had to work with in terms of the footage, I was like, oh yeah, no, Maya, who almost died on a Ferris wheel, like we're going to see the Ferris wheel on Maya's, and Bora, and Sullivan, who almost died in the Space Needle, we're going to see the Space Needle on Sullivan. Like those moments I just thought were so beautiful. And that song, we commissioned the remake of that song, and it was a lot of forethought and a lot of people's energy went into making that happen.
Oh, great.
We appreciate it because it was beautifully done.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So great. Yeah.
Um,
And that kind of reminds me, there's a big debate online between are they, or maybe it is what you want it to be. That could be what the answer is. But are they flashbacks? Are they dream sequences? Hopes for the future? I'd like to think that they're like dreams and hopes for the future, but how would you describe it?
That's what I think they are. I think they are, what are you living for? What are you living for? What matters to you? What are you willing to risk everything for? And so to me, it's not factual, but these people are mighty, manifestors, and it is, I would say, even probable that these things are going to come to fruition, that in the future that these are the lives they are creating for themselves.
So beautiful.
Yeah. I love it. And again, talking about shots, the final shot of the 19 was just, it was everything. And then, the speech between that, like, it really encompassed what 19 has become all of these years and like the legacy that it's going to leave behind. And so it was, I like took a screenshot of it. I was like, I'm going to keep this and I'm going to make it my background because it was so cool.
That's great. Thank you. And that speech was, as Zoanne and I were talking thematically about what we wanted the finale to be, that speech, I basically said that. And Zoanne was like, wait, hold on. And started typing. Just like, say it again.
Stop, say it again.
Yeah.
But it is, and it was, from us to you and to ourselves, that 19 is bigger than just the 105 episodes. And it is something that we can carry with us all and put into the world, and that matters.
Yeah.
Yep. It matters.
What would you say one of your favorite, this is a very difficult question. You can even just narrow it down to 7 if you want, but what was one of your favorite episodes ever?
I have so many. I've been very fortunate. I got to direct some great episodes of the show. So those will be the ones that will jump to my mind. I love my first episode. I love 414. I think it's a great episode. I love the Maya Karina stuff. I love the 5 Jason Georges, the 5 Bens. That stuff was crazy and so hard to do. And I can't believe we pulled it off. And it was so fun. And, I love it when the Grey's universe plays with those kinds of realities, and I thought we just did it really well. And Jack in the Dumpster, like I just think it's a fun episode with a lot of great payoff. 607, which starts with the sister house fire, and Maya collapsed on the floor, like that. I think directorially that's my favorite episode. I love what I got to do with that episode. I love that opening montage. I love those stories. I think there's just really powerful, beautiful stuff throughout that whole episode. And I think it's the 5150 stuff is, brutal. And I know it's hard. I think it's hard for fans, particularly Marina fans, to say like, oh, that's my favorite because it's so painful. But I think it might be my favorite because it's so good. They're so good. The way we shot it is so fucking cool. That shot of Karina coming out of that room and just getting outside the door and not even being able to make it another step and feeling Maya in soft focus back there screaming for her and her plugging her ears, like that's one of my favorite shots of my career. So
That's really good.
And then the finale, are all, and by the way, there's a ton of stuff in Pride that I love. Again, like this season, like it all gets kind of washed away under the weight of the finale. But like, I love the Pride episode. I think the Pride episode is so powerful and beautiful and fun and defiant, and the moment that Maya sees her brother still gives me chills, and Travis and his dad and the beauty of that healing and how much Travis needed that in order to get on with his life and make better choices for himself. And I think there's so much great stuff in that episode too that was so fun to do. And Simone, like, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
It was, yeah.
So all of those, and I mean 10 and 710 is just packed with scenes, shots, moments that I love.
So
From the opening, truly, from the opening sequence to the end, it's just like every act I'm like, oh, that's one of the best scenes I've ever done, and it's like every single act has a bunch of them. So,
right.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, looking forward, how do you see your career evolving, especially with how the industry is changing? And are there any new projects that you're working on or you would like to do?
So, the industry is always changing. And I'm, we'll see how it all shakes out. I'm very excited about new things. I just I just sold the show. I can't really announce it yet because the deal's not done. But I just sold a show that I'm excited about. That's it's a little bit different than the stuff that you know me for, but it will of course have a lot of the same themes and storylines that matter to me as a creative. So I'm excited about that. I've got a couple movies that are that we're setting up and raising money for at the moment. The movie business is just, you think the TV business is rough right now, the movie business is rough, but I'm really excited about both of those. They're both kind of queer period dramas that I think are really important and I'm really determined to get made. And that's it, and look, there will always be an appetite for compelling human stories. We've been storytellers since we were sitting around a campfire in, animal pelts. Like it is in us, and it is deeply important to us to try to make sense of these kind of chaotic lives that we lead for the very brief amount of time we are here on this planet. So I don't think those things are going away, but it's but the business goes through expansion and contraction just like any business does, and we are in a tough time right now. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm excited.
Can you provide some insight into the decisions behind editing certain scenes out or for time and stuff?
So this is all right. Everybody's going to get a little. This is a little toast. This is everybody's settling.
You be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
You guys
don't sugarcoat nothing.
I'm not gonna, because whatever, we're done. The show's over.
We're done.
So you can be mad if you want to. No character scenes get cut more than other character scenes. It's just not how it works. We're not in there going, oh, fuck those Marina fans. I'm gonna take something away from them to piss them off. Like, it's the last thing I want to do. We have to hit a mark of 42 minutes and 24 seconds every fucking week. And if we go over by 30 seconds one week, we got to give it up the next week. There are 1,000 decisions that go into what we cut for time. There are 1,000. Is this part of this scene, or is this scene integral to the story? Does the story make sense without it? Well, if it makes sense without it, then it doesn't need to be here. So just because y'all think they were making out or they were running around in their fucking underwear at the beginning of a scene doesn't mean it's integral to the storytelling. I'm sorry. And like the one that made where I lost it with everybody was everyone was like you guys cut out half a kiss. I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill somebody. The scene where we came in at the bar and they were kissing, like we came in on the cut of
okay, yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay.
How dare they? I was like, okay, you guys have to stop watching this show from a place of scarcity. You have to stop watching it from a place of we never get anything. We never get anything. It's just utter bullshit. It's just not true. I'm going to say a few other things because you've opened the door. I can't show the same physicality on two women that I can on a man and a woman because women can't be topless on ABC. I can't show the same way that I can show Ross going down Sullivan's chest or Travis going down Emmett's chest. I can't show that on Maya and Karina because I have boobs and I'm not allowed. I'll get fined by the FCC.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yes, you will.
Stop watching it from a place of why are they trying to take things away from us? It's the exact opposite. We love those characters. We love their relationship. We protect it. We value it. And it makes me so sad that you can't enjoy what's there because you're convincing yourself that there's some conspiracy to take something away from you. And it's just so false. I love you all. I love your passion. I understand the passion. By the way, I was an actor on Queer as Folk. I am at the forefront of this movement of queer storytelling on camera. I am at the very beginning of it. I created the Fosters. I got a spreadsheet from a fan that told me how much screen time each of the moms had in every episode, whether they touched and whether they kissed in every single episode. I get it. It's valuable and it's important to you. Yeah. They were two moms with 5 teenagers. They had them fuck in a fucking car once because they felt so disconnected and they wanted to reconnect. But I just couldn't have them climbing into the bathtub together in every episode. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Characters need lives and they need conflict and it's hard and relationships are hard and it's hard to fuck all the time. So anyway, I love you all. I'm so grateful for your passion, but moving forward, I just encourage you to please temper. And it's not to say don't hold showrunners accountable and don't, but do it from a place of abundance. Do it from a place of, wow, this is incredible what we have and we love it so much. And boy, it would be great if, as opposed to, damn it, they hate us, they're homophobic. I mean, literally, when I got called homophobic, I was like,
oh no.
Guys, let's start. Let's go back. Let's take this, let's reset. Let's take this scene again. Mm-hmm. Really? You're gonna call me homophobic?
Yeah.
I'll put more queer characters on television than maybe anybody but Ryan Murphy.
Right.
So
yeah.
So yeah. So that's all. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. They the decision-making process, it has to do with the rhythm of a show, how long we're in a scene. There's only you can't sit in a scene on a TV show like Station 19 for more than 3 minutes. Right. Really, that's long for a scene. On station, it's very, very unusual. So when scenes were super long, so you just go okay, where can we come into this scene? Mm-hmm. Do I have all the information I need for this story to make sense? I do. Oh, if I lop off this first 20 seconds of this scene, everything still makes sense, and I am 20 seconds closer to getting this show on the air.
Right.
That's all it is. And it never, ever, ever is, oh, I don't like that character. Oh, I want to piss off the fans. Oh, the fans don't deserve X or Y or Z, or the characters don't deserve X or Y or Z. It's always, 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 how do we protect the stories we're telling?
Yep.
So that's what it is.
And honestly, if it wasn't for the behind the scenes ABC photographer, you wouldn't have, no one would have known.
Literally, if we had a season 8, I think I would have barred them. I would have said, we have to approve those shots because it was so insane. Sometimes there were shots from them rehearsing that
Right.
weren't even, they were rehearsing something that was in the scene. It just looked different when you saw it in the scene. And then
Right.
you guys were like, it's different. That's a kiss they deprived us from. They hate us. They're homophobic.
Just calm down, everyone.
That's
And
dumb.
also, we only got 10 episodes.
Not a lot of people in service.
An ensemble cast. That's my thing. We have a whole ensemble cast, and we have less than 10 realistically because we already started filming. So you have to close out everyone
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a fast pace to be like, okay, we gotta go.
We wanted to make sure that everybody had at least one and probably two really special episodes where they really got to shine and you really got to understand that character's journey, where they had come from and where they were going. Like, it was really important to us that every single one, because they're all brilliant, beautiful artists and they've given so much to the show. So it was important to us that, like, oh no, we get to really check in with these people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I
So
still
that's
think
my
it was done
tirade. I
absolutely
love you
great.
all. Please don't take that out of context, fans. I love you all. I'm grateful for you all, sincerely. But it makes me sad that you can't appreciate that when you get triggered this way, you can't appreciate what's there. Right?
Yeah.
That's what makes me sad. It's like, I'm like, you're missing the beautiful scene that is there because you're counting the seconds of screen time that Maya and Karina got over the seconds of screen time that Ross and Sullivan got. And trust me, we're not doing that. We're not sitting there with a stopwatch. We're going, the flow of the cut is X, it's this, it's this,
Mhm.
it's this, that, you know?
Yeah.
It's,
From artistic point of view.
yes, and a holistic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our job.
I was just gonna say, what are some fun memories that you can share with everyone about your time with Station 19?
I have so many. I did not expect, not only, like, I didn't expect to be on the show, ever, much less to find such extraordinary people there, such good, kind, grounded, engaged artists, and I'm so, so grateful for the laughs and the tears and the heart that everybody put into it. My memory doesn't work in such a way that I'll be like, oh, one day, blah. But when I think about the show, my heart is so full of, being on that set. The days I got to direct were just, my absolute favorites, because I got to be, in it with the whole crew and the cast. And all right, I just looked up and I saw something that gave me a really special memory, and I'm going to cry when I tell you this, so bear with me. But we started something this season called Employee of the Day, and every day, the previous day's Employee of the Day would nominate somebody to be Employee of the Day, and it was just like a really simple thing. It was crew member to crew member, like, hey, this is for, Joanne, she always has such a smile for me. This is, every time I see her. Or this is for Bill. He works so hard and makes my job so much easier and is always ready to help. And it's just like a little thing. And I think you got to cut in the lunch line. Like, that was really it. But there was this medallion that went around with it. And slowly over time, people started adding things to the medallion from their job, like a little specific, like a mark or a toner cartridge or a dummy baby or a broom or a piece of floor. Like, and people kept adding to this thing, and they started attaching it to a McLeod, those fire rakes.
Yeah.
And they made this kind of totem, this kind of ugly stick, if you will, of the season of the show. And it was a very crew to crew thing, and we did it every morning, and the very last day, the crew member who was one of the assistants in the props department, who's such a lovely, sweet human, gave it to me, and I cried like such a baby. So that was a pretty great
Oh, that's so special.
Awesome.
I love that so much, and just like a piece of everyone, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I have it in, truly, it's in with my, like, I have a pretty nice art collection, and it's in as a piece in my art collection now. So
Love that.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so special. I love that.
Me too.
Makes me happy.
One common question we always ask the guests is there anything you collect?
Art.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, I
wow.
love it.
Yeah. No.
I love it.
Wow.
Forgive the mess. Oh, you can't see the mess on the floor. That's good. Yes, I collect art.
Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation, I think. I'd love to be able to just be like, oh, let's go to Europe. Oh,
Yeah.
let's go to, you know what I mean? Oh, let's go to Tokyo.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just I think that would be pretty great. I don't want to read people's minds. I mean,
No.
flying would be pretty great too, but yeah, I think teleportation would take care of it.
Yeah, I want Italian. Let's just hop over to Italy for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be great. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't really karaoke, but if you made me, they rarely have it. This is part of the reason I don't karaoke. If you made me, I would do Michelle and Diggy Ocello's If That's Your Boyfriend. Which, if you don't know, goes as follows. You say that's your boyfriend, you say I'm out of line. Funny, he said I could call him up anytime, call me wrong, say that I ain't right, but if that's your boyfriend, he wasn't last night. Now, I'm the kind of woman, I'll do almost anything to get what I want. I might play any little game. Call me what you like, but you know it's true, you're just jealous because it wasn't with you. Don't mean no harm. I just like what I see, and it ain't my fault if he wants me. Got what I wanted, and the feeling was right. If that's your boyfriend, he wasn't last night.
Very
That's
good.
incredible.
That's my karaoke song.
I love it.
You're the second
Oh,
guest to rap for us, by the way.
Oh, nice.
That was very well done. I would pay for you a
Very-
karaoke song. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
What's the last thing you've binge watched?
The very last thing I binge watched was Bridgerton. I finished yesterday.
Alex loves that too.
I had a
It's
good,
so good.
I had a good cry at the end. It was very sweet. It's very,
Yeah.
very happy for Penelope.
I love
That
Penelope. She's my favorite.
Nicola Coughlan, I just love her so much. Have you watched Dairy Girls?
I did. I finished it. And I was like, I love this so much. I was like, I need more.
I
She's
love that.
amazing.
Agreed.
Do you have any phobias?
Yeah, I'm scared of heights, and I'm scared of snakes. I don't think
Yeah.
anything without legs should be able to move.
Agreed. It's not it doesn't look right. It's just
Like my whole body just is like seizes up the minute I see a snake. Nope, not a fan. Not a fan.
Favorite and least favorite foods.
Favorite food. So my least favorite's easy. It's red onions. I fucking hate red onions with every fiber of my being. They ruin everything they touch. Please don't. My favorite food is I mean, it's so dumb. It's so adolescent, but it's either pizza or donuts.
I love it.
Good pizza or good donuts, either one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you put pineapple on pizza?
I will.
Yeah.
I like pineapple on anything.
I'm a sucker for that too.
Same.
Same.
I had dinner at Astrid last night downtown in LA. And there was a pineapple glazed short rib that was
Oh,
really good.
Nice.
we always start talking about food and I just get so hungry every time.
Oh, I haven't eaten yet today. I'm so hungry. So
Yeah.
it's getting me worked up.
Favorite music?
I'm sort of I'm a pop girly. Like I'm probably an alt pop girly if you're really into my lane. I love Fiona Apple and I love Kelly Clarkson, who's not very alt, but like I love Kelly Clarkson. Lately I loved Ariana's last album. I don't know if you guys know Jordy. Jordy is this queer, this gay male musician who I adore. Is really fun, great pop music. Shout out Jordy. What else did I listen to recently? Oh, Ray. Do you guys know who Ray is?
Oh yeah.
R.A.Y..
Or
She's British. She's sort of like Amy Winehouse, a little jazzier, a little bit of rap and hip hop thrown in. Really special. That album, my whole 2 weeks in Europe, I was listening to Ray and loving every second of it. So check out Ray.
And I'm
I'm
writing
gonna
that
check that
down.
out.
Oh, that's amazing. right. Well, we'll let you go. You've been so beautiful, amazing, all the things, and we appreciate you spending the time with us, even with your
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thanks for your patience. I'm so sorry about the
Don't worry about it. It's
It's
cool.
fine.
Don't worry.
great couch has arrived. So
Here,
It
now
does
you
look cozy. It does look
Right.
very cozy and comfy.
yeah.
looks very cuddly. Very excited about that. Thank you all for your hard work. Thank you all for your support of the show. And again, whatever the outcome, know that we really felt the love. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you all.
Now just a little closing message for both of you. I know Zoan's not here, but maybe we can relay it to her. But we just wanted to say we're grateful for both of you spending time with us today. It means the world to us. On behalf of the Station 19 fan family, a special thank you to Peter and Zoan, the fearless leaders, for caring so deeply about these characters, their stories, and for the magic you brought into our homes every Thursday night. You two have been the finest example of leadership. Thank you for caring so deeply for the show, wanting it to succeed to its fullest potential, and delivering arguably the best season of Station 19. Many fans have found friendships, marriages, family, and encouragement to take pride in who they are through this show. Station 19 represents the world and its diversity by displaying inclusivity and complex stories to remind us we are all so important and beautiful and have a story to tell and something to fight for. So thank you. And we'll give you one last 19 here on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 19.
Thank you all. So
You're welcome.
be well.
Yes, you too.